Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you so much.
Very
Uh,
sincere.
oh, okay. We're already live on YouTube. So, dear devotees, we thank you for being here today. We are very much blessed. We have His Grace Madan-GOPAL Prabhu, who will be speaking to us from the Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll do a little bit more introduction of Prabhuji at the end of the class, by which time we believe we might have many more devotees join us. Prabhuji, if you wouldn't mind, we'll put the verse on the screen and then you may take it over from here. I think this must be your second time speaking here. Yeah.
Yes, if you don't mind, I can share. I have the slideshow I can share.
Yes, you can do that. Okay, let
Mm.
me give you the rights. Yes. Yeah. I think this is the second time Prabhuji is speaking
Yes,
to
correct.
us. So, what it is, Prabhuji, is you speak for probably about an hour or less or more, depending on how you want to speak. And then at the end, if you still have some few more time with us, the devotees may ask some questions if they should have questions. So I think you should have the right to
Yes.
share now. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think I got it. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. My obeisances to all of you. And it's always a pleasure to be here in the ISKCON Africa Zoom channel. Uh, it is very dear to my heart. I was born and raised in Africa myself, although my parents are from India. But it's very wonderful to see ISKCON blossoming in all different parts of Africa. I'm constantly getting reports from my friends in Kenya of all the growth that's happening, and it's really wonderful how Prabhupada's mercy is spread all over the world. So thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Today we'll be talking about this verse. Who is Lord Brahma? So just do a brief overview of this amazing personality, the first created being. Okay, so we'll try to invoke the mercy of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 8, text number 9, the unborn Brahma. Ajasrijati bhutani bhutatma yadanugrahat dadrisheyena tadrupam nabhi padma samudbhava. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Brahma, who was not born of a material source, but of the lotus flower coming out of the navel abdomen of the Lord, is the creator of all those who are materially born. Of course, by the grace of the Lord, Brahma was able to see the form of the Lord. Purport. The first living creature, Brahma, is called Aja because he did not take his birth from the womb of a mother materially born. He was directly born from the bodily expansion of the lotus flower of the Lord. Thus, it is not readily understandable whether the body of the Lord and that of Brahma are of the same quality or different. This must also be clearly understood. One thing is, however, certain. Brahma was completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord, because after his birth, he could create living beings by the Lord's grace only, and he could see the form of the Lord. Whether the form seen by Brahma is of the same quality as that of Brahma is a bewildering question. And Maharaj Parikshit wanted to get clear answers from Shukdev Goswami. So this is a verse. Brahma was not born of material source, but of lotus flower coming out of the navel abdomen of the Lord. He's the creator of those who are materially born. Of course, by the grace of the Lord, Brahma was able to see the form of the Lord. So we are in this section of the Srimad Bhagavatam where Parikshit Maharaj is asking Shukadeva Goswami many questions. And he's really curious about Lord Brahma. Is he an incarnation? Is his body made of the same elements of spirit as the Lord, since he was born directly from the body of the Lord? And so on. This whole chapter is called Questions by King Parikshit. It's just from the beginning to the end. It's just a list of questions. And you can see the heart of Parikshit Maharaj, what he wants to understand. And we will see as we study this further, as we progress in Bhagavatam, that this discussion will go into a lot of details about this process of creation and so on. In every spiritual or religious tradition, this aspect of creation is given a lot of importance. The Bible starts with Genesis, it's all about creation. The Quran talks about creation over 6 days. The Jewish tradition and many other religions, traditional religions, local religions, they discuss a lot about this idea. Why is that? Because we first want to know, what is this place that we find ourselves in? Who are we? Is this our real home? Is this where we belong? Where do we come from? Are we supposed to be going somewhere? So similarly, Parikshit Maharaj asks such questions. So he's asking, who is this Lord Brahma? Lord Brahma is a very, very important person. He's a divine personality. So who is this Lord Brahma? We learn about Lord Brahma in the very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. He's the original disciple of Lord Krishna. He's the head of our sampradaya. It is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. His name is the name of sampradaya, Brahma. That's him. He's the first disciple of Krishna. And he's mentioned in the opening verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, Janmadyasya yaton vayadi taratash charthesha vigya swarat tene brahma hridaya adi kavaye muhyanti yat suraya. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. So Lord Brahma, he is known as the Adi Kavi, the original knowledgeable person. And Krishna gave him full knowledge into his heart directly. Tene Brahma Hrida. Hrida means directly in the heart. So he's a very, very special person. First created being. So let's explore a little bit more about who this Lord Brahma is. He is a Jiva soul. What is this Jiva soul? So a Jiva soul is a living entity. All of us living creatures, all human beings, all plants, all animals, even bacteria, any living being in this world that shows consciousness of any sort, has a spark of life, is considered, is to be understood to be a Jiva soul, an eternal soul. Eternal meaning indestructible. So he is also one of the Jiva souls. In one sense, he's just like us. But he's empowered. He's fully empowered by Krishna. You see, like sometimes even we get empowered. We are in our limited space, we're empowered to create something. Maybe we come up with some idea on how to do something better. We get some inspiration to build something, to design something maybe, or even to come up with a nice recipe, to cook something, or we come up with a nice song, we compose, or some music or some artwork, anything creativity oriented in our life that is an original work. Ultimately, it's not original in the sense because Krishna gives us the empowerment. He gives us the enlightenment and the inspiration from within. So similarly, Brahma is also a spirit soul, Jiva soul. And he is given all the power, all the intelligence, all the ingredients, all the directions to build out this creation as per Lord Krishna's plans, designs, and direction. So he's considered the secondary creator. Why? Because Krishna is a primary, he's the source of everything. Brahma is a secondary creator. Now, since he is a servant of the Lord, he's also a devotee. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, he's our grand guru from the point of view of our sampradaya, the disciplic succession. See, so he's a spirit soul empowered by Krishna. Sometimes, because he's a spirit soul, he may also make some mistakes. He may get a little confused. And so Krishna has to kind of clear things out for him, put him in the proper line, and he's taught a valuable lesson. There's one story is found in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is a story of how Brahma is taught a valuable lesson. So these Brahmas, there's not just one Brahma. There are many other Brahmas. So once upon a time when Krishna was in Dwarka, ruling Dwarka, Lord Brahma, our Lord Brahma with the four heads, he came to see him. And the doorman immediately informed Krishna of Brahma's arrival. And when Krishna was told Brahma is here, he asked the doorman, which Brahma are you talking about? What's his name? So then the doorman went back and he questioned Lord Brahma. He says, which Brahma are you? Lord Brahma was surprised. What do you mean? What do you mean, which Brahma? Like there's many Brahmas. So he told the doorman, please go inform Lord Krishna, I am the four-headed Brahma who is the father of the four Kumaras. So the doorman went back to Krishna and gave a description. And Lord Krishna said, yes, okay, he can come, and gave him permission. So then the doorman brings him, escorts him inside. And as soon as Brahma saw Lord Krishna, he offered obeisances, his helmet touching the floor. And then he worshipped the Lord. And then the Lord also reciprocated with nice words, honoring, with suitable words, honoring Brahma. Then Lord Krishna asked him, so my dear Brahma, why have you come here? And Brahma said, that I'll tell you later why I've come. First of all, there's a doubt in my mind, if you can kindly dissipate this doubt. Why did you ask which Brahma had come to see you? What is the purpose of that question? Is there any other Brahma besides me in this universe? When Krishna heard this question, he smiled and immediately meditated. And just by his thought, immediately unlimited number of Brahmas just arrived instantly. And these Brahmas had different numbers of heads. Some had 10 heads, some had 20 heads, some had 100, some had 1,000, some had 1,000,000, 10 million, 100 million. No one could count the number of faces some of these Brahmas had. In addition to Brahmas, they also arrived many Lord Shivas with many heads, numbering hundreds and thousands. Many Indras also arrived, and they had eyes all over the bodies. So when the four-headed Brahma of this universe saw all these amazing opulences of Krishna, he became very bewildered. And he considered himself like a rabbit among many elephants. All the Brahmas who came to see Krishna, they offered their respects at his lotus feet. And when they did this, their helmets touched the floor at the same time. No one can estimate this inconceivable potency of Krishna. And when all the helmets struck together at Lord Krishna's lotus feet, there was a tumultuous sound, thundering. It appears like the helmets themselves offering prayers to Krishna. And with folded hands, all the Brahmas and Shivas, they said, oh Lord, we pray to you, you have shown us great favor that we've been able to see your lotus feet today. And they said, it's a great fortune that you think of us as your servant. Allow us to serve you. Let us know what is your order. We'll carry it on our heads.
A large, actually, cohort of devotees who moved out.
And then Lord Krishna replied, I wanted to see all of you together. I've called all of you. You should be happy. Everything good? Is there any fear from the demons, my dear Brahmas? And said, by your mercy, my Lord, we are victorious everywhere. Whatever burden was upon our planets, you have taken away by descending on that planet, and you have killed all the demons. So then after observing all these opulences, the four-headed Brahma, our Brahma of this universe, he was astonished. He again came before the lotus feet of the Lord and he offered his obeisances. Brahma said, whatever I formerly decided about my knowledge, I have just now personally verified. He said, there are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think in that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. Oh my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. This is a quote from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter. This is the prayers of Lord Brahma. I cannot understand you, my Lord. I thought I did. So Krishna told him, look, your universe, it extends 4 billion miles. So it's one of the smallest universes I have. And so you only have 4 heads. And so it give you enough head space, enough processing power, quad core processor to manage this space. But for others, you need more. You need more brains. I've given them more heads. And Lord Brahma finally realized, yes. See, this is the greatness of the Lord. Similarly, we can also get puffed up by our little things, Oh, I'm the president of this country, I'm the president of a little, I'm the prime minister, or I'm the, teacher in this class, whatever it may be. We tend to get puffed up because we're given some influence, some authority. Even for temporary things like, someone becomes the class monitor for 1 hour while the teacher is away. The class monitor can get all puffed up. Oh, I'm so great. You see, so it's very easy for everyone to get puffed up. Even great person like Lord Brahma, who really has so much control. I mean, he's the top demigod. He's the father of Lord Shiva, and so on. But still, no matter how great we are, in front of the Lord, we are nothing. See, when Lord Krishna, he lies down in this causal ocean in the form of Mahavishnu, his every breath, millions and trillions of universes come out of his skin pores. And each universe is like a shape of a bubble or an egg shape. And then within each universe, he enters into the womb of the universe. Therefore, it's called Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And that Garbhodakshaya Vishnu then sprouts a lotus from his navel. And on that lotus is a Brahma born. Sometimes the Brahma will have 10 heads or 50 heads or 1,000,000 heads, depending on the size of that egg of the universe. And all these little universes, they're like little tiny, you can say, table tennis balls floating on the ocean. Millions of them, you can imagine. And Krishna is in each one of them, entered, managing it, and empowering a Lord Brahma in there to deal with the creation and all the hassles that come with it. So we cannot get puffed up about what little thing we have. We can appreciate the Supreme Lord and how beautiful he is. This universe is shaped like an egg. Therefore, it is called Anda. In Sanskrit, Anda means egg. And the egg of Lord Brahma is called Brahmanda. So in this Brahmanda, we are going up and down in all these different species of life, all these different higher planets, lower planets. We move up and down depending on our karma, depending on our desires, depending on what good we did, what bad we did. Trying to control, trying to enjoy separately from God. So it's called Brahmanda. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev. In the Brahmanda, moving up and down, one or very rare spirit soul, Bhagyavan Jeev, who's very fortunate, will get the mercy of Krishna in the form of Guru, and the mercy of Guru in the form of Krishna arranges the devotees to meet the spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada, who is our main, of course, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, he's our main teacher. Anybody who comes in contact with Prabhupada's teachings, he's a very, very fortunate soul, very rare soul. especially if he takes it up with seriousness. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. So we are moving up and down this Brahmanda, and we get the mercy of the Guru and Krishna, of the seed of Bhakti, Bhakti Lata Beach. What is that seed? That seed is the methods and techniques of how to connect with Krishna in the process of Bhakti Yoga. The chanting, the hearing, the deity worship, all these different things we learn. That's the seed. And we apply the seed in our life, and we can get successful in reconnecting back with God. So here we see Lord Brahma has taught this valuable lesson that in this Brahmanda, you think you have this Brahmanda, you're not the only one. And this painting, you can see he's so tiny. He's this tiny one over here. He's a tiny Brahma. Even in size, he's so small. He's like a thumb compared to all these other big ones. You know, he was really shocked. It's quite amazing. There's another nice story. Oops. There's another nice story in the Bhagavatam. This is called Brahma Vimohan Leela. In the Brahma Vimohan Leela, one day Lord Brahma was flying on his swan airplane, and he was looking, and he saw, and let me go and see, I heard Krishna is here, and I heard Krishna is of course, Krishna is our Lord. So let me go and see. So he saw, and Krishna was just having a picnic with his friends. And Lord Brahma said, wait a minute. This is the God that, the same Lord from whom I am born directly? I don't know. It doesn't look like it. This is a tiny boy like this. He's having a picnic with these other boys, and some of them are climbing on his shoulders, and some of them are like, teasing him as if he's just maybe he's just an ordinary boy. Maybe I have been misled. There is no way this little blue boy who's running around, getting tripped up by his friends, there's no way he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Let me trick him. I'm going to prove it. So Lord Brahma, he arranged to kidnap all of Krishna's friends and calves. So he got Krishna out of the picture. He put all his friends and calves to sleep, and he just kidnapped them, just for like a minute or so. But for Lord Brahma's 1 minute on earth, it's a whole year. In just a few seconds for Lord Brahma, but on earth is a whole year. And he said, okay, I'll bring him back, and I'll hide them in a cave and then bring them back, and we'll see how confused Krishna will become. And I'll prove it that there's no way he's God. So he does that, he kidnaps them, and then he brings them back. But when he brings them back, he sees that Krishna has already replaced all these calves and friends magically for a whole year. For a full year, Krishna had expanded himself into each of the calves and each of the boys. And when Brahma saw that, he was so confused. That's why it's called Brahma Vimohana Leela. Moha means to be bewildered, and Vimohan means to be extremely confused and bewildered. And Lord Brahma was, he couldn't figure out what happened. And then he bowed down, and Krishna showed him, look, it is me. I expanded into all these boys and calves. And then this painting you can see, these are all expansions of the Lord. And then Lord Brahma learned a very valuable lesson again. He realized his mistake, and he apologizes profusely with some wonderful poetic prayers. There is a very nice prayer, one of my favorite prayers in the Bhagavatam, that is recited by Lord Brahma. It goes like this. This is the 10th canto, chapter 14. That's the prayers of Lord Brahma, verse number 35. He says, Esham Gosha Nivasinam Utabhavan Kim devarate tinash cheto vishva phalat phalam tvadaparam kutrapyayan muhyati sadveshadiva putanapi sakula tvameva deva pita tadhamartha suhrit priyatmatanaya pranashaya astvad. He's remembering the pastime of Putana, how Lord Krishna killed Putana when he was a baby, and he saw it. And Lord Brahma is expressing his further bewilderment, this time in a very beautiful, poetic way. He says, my Lord, my mind becomes bewildered, just trying to think of what reward other than you can be found anywhere. You are the embodiment of all benedictions, which you bestow upon these residents of the cowherd community of Vrindavan. You have already arranged to give yourself to Putana and her family members in exchange for her disguising herself as a devotee. I mean, she just pretended to be a devotee. So what is left for you to give these devotees of Vrindavan, whose homes, wealth, friends, dear relations, their bodies, their children, and very lives and hearts are all dedicated only to you? You see here, Lord Brahma has learned his lesson. He's praying and he's saying, my Lord, you're so kind. You're so generous. You overlook the bad things and you only take the good part of somebody's approach to you. I mean, look at Putana. He said, Sadveshadiva Putana Bisakula. Just because she dressed up as a devotee, just because she pretended to be a devotee, she had ill intention. She wanted to kill Krishna with poison. But he says, just because she pretended to be a devotee, you gave yourself to her. Not just to her family members, like Bakasur and others. Who are, Bakasur is the brother of Putana. Just because she pretended to serve Krishna, Krishna closed his eyes. It says, at the time when Putana approached Krishna, he closed his eyes. And the acharyas give commentary that why he closed his eyes, because he does not want to see the bad part of her. He just wants to take her good intentions. Well, how is it good intention? Well, she came as a mother who wanted to feed a child. Of course, her inner intention was to kill him. You see, now in her previous life, who was this Putana? Putana was actually the younger sister of Bali Maharaj. You remember the story of Bali Maharaj? He had become very powerful. He owned all the 3 worlds. He was a demon, but he was also a great devotee. And when Lord Krishna came in the form of Vamanadev to take all his, to ask him beg for him 3 steps of land, as Vamanadev, he was a very cute little boy, almost like a toddler, so beautiful. And at that time, Bali Maharaj's sister, she was there. This story is found in Brahma Vaivarta Purana. And she saw this incredibly cute boy. And she felt so much motherly affection toward the boy. And she said, she thought in her mind, oh my God, this little boy, I wish I could be I just wanted to feed him like a baby, like my own born baby. I want to breastfeed him. That's how much motherly affection she felt toward him. Now, Krishna, being the heart of every living entity, he registered that desire. Oh, she wants to be like my nursing mother. I will certainly fulfill that desire. So he registered that desire, you see. And then the pastime continued where, Vamanadev, he asked for 3 steps of land and he's given the 3 steps and he becomes gigantic and he takes away all the property of Bali Maharaj. Now, Bali Maharaj's sister, she saw this also and she got so angry at this boy who is now his gigantic form. She said, oh my God, what a bad person. Such a child should be given poison. So Krishna registered that desire too. Okay, you want to poison me? I'll allow that. I will facilitate that. So in the next life, when she comes as Putana, she gets to breastfeed him, but she also gets to poison him. You see, the point here is that because he only sees the good part, He took out the poison, but he also gave her liberation. He, just for pretending to be a devotee. So Brahma is saying, look, my Lord, you have nothing left to give these cowherd boys and the gopis and all these people of Vrindavan, because you've given yourself already to Putana just for pretending. What is left for you to give this? He's saying you're bankrupt, my Lord. There's a poetic thing. Of course, Lord can never be bankrupt. But so he's saying, I'm bewildered that you're so kind. Why is this one of my favorite prayers? Because this shows the super mercy of the Lord. Our own Sampradaya Guru, top head Guru of our Sampradaya, Brahmaji, he's coming to this realization. He's teaching us also that even if someone pretending to be devotee like Putana, they can get deliverance to Goloka Vrindavan, then there is a good chance that sincere well-wishers, aspiring servants of the Lord, if we can become that, we can also get entrance in the kingdom of God, because we can hope that the Lord will overlook our poisonous aspects, our toxicity. Because those of us who are conditioned in this world, we tend to have, these aspects of selfishness and so on. That's why these prayers are wonderful for us to meditate on, to understand the supreme mercy of the Lord, and keep this hope alive that if Putana got it, why not us? Let us serve with as pure intention as possible. Let us be as intense in our practice as much as we can. Let us be forgiving of others, just like Krishna is forgiving of Putana. And let us also move forward by getting closer and closer to Krishna in whatever way we can, and serve him in whatever way we can. Then we will be connected with him forever. It gives us hope. It shows the nature of the Lord. Now, one of the most amazing things is Lord Brahma. We generally don't worship Lord Brahma. We don't say prayers to Lord Brahma, like we don't have any artis for Lord Brahma. We don't recite his name, Brahmaji ki jai. Right? We don't normally do that as part of our daily worship in ISKCON. It's not a thing, even though he's the head of a sampradaya. However, there's a very important and amazing aspect of Lord Brahma that we can explore further. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we learn about this great devotee who was born in a Muslim family. His name is Namacharya Haridas Thakur. Now, when Lord Brahma did that Brahma Vimohan Leela, the kidnapping of the boys, and he was sorry for it, he accepted that I should get punished, and he accepted, okay, I'll be born in an outcast of Mlekcha, meat-eating family, very fallen family. So then Lord Brahma was born as Namacharya. Haridas Thakur was born in a Khan family, in a Muslim family. So it's not considered the highest birth. But as a devotee of the Lord, he became very great as a Namacharya. See? So in this Chaitanya Charitamrita 11:25 in Antya Lila, you see this verse. Loka nistarite tomara avatara namera mahima loke karila prachara. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking to Haridas Thakur, and he's saying, your role in this incarnation of Haridas Thakur is to deliver the people in general. You have sufficiently preached the glories of the holy name in this world. So in the purport, we learn this identity. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirms that Haridas Thakur is the incarnation of Lord Brahma. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that advanced devotees help the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his mission, and that such devotees or personal associates incarnate by the will of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord incarnates by his own will, and by his will, competent devotees also incarnate to help him in his mission. Haridas Thakur is thus the incarnation of Lord Brahma, and other devotees are likewise incarnations who help in the prosecution of the Lord's mission. So for us devotees in ISKCON, the most amazing greatness of Lord Brahma is not that he is the creator of this universe. It is not that he has 4 heads. It is not that he has so much amazing power over the different demigods. For us, the most amazing greatness of Lord Brahma is that he is the Namacharya. He is the teacher of how to chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He used to chant 300,000 names of the Lord every day. 300,000 names, equivalent to 64 rounds times 3, 192 rounds, something like that. 192 rounds every day. That's basically, it takes up all your day. Maybe leaves a couple hours to just, take a shower and maybe take a little nap. He used to do that. He set the standard. And not just the quantity, he set the standard of the quality too. He chanted with so much intensity, with so much love. This is the main process in our Krishna consciousness movement, is the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we take initiation in this movement, we promise to live a sinless life, give up the 4 sins, and we promise to chant at least 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's the only promise, really. The other things, they're all very helpful. You deity worship, you help in the preaching, you distribution books, you maintain the temples, you clean, you do different sevas. Those are all very helpful. But the main reason we do all these services is to kind of bolster and support and lend energy and focus to our chanting of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Prabhupada would say the main thing you chant Hare Krishna, that's the main instruction of the Guru, to be taken very seriously. See? So if we can chant Hare Krishna deeply, taking inspiration from Namacharya, chant our 16 rounds, that'll be the success of our mission. That is the glory of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the glory of Srila Prabhupada. And that's the glory of Lord Brahma, who comes as Namacharya. You see. So Lord Brahma, in one sense, is not left out of the Jai, Jai Jaikar that we do. Because we say Namacharya Das Thakur ki Jai. Because that's what's important for us. Yes, we respect him as the creator. But in our heart, his activities, his pastimes as Namacharya Haridas Thakur, that means a lot more for us that we can relate to. Because that is our main mission too, to chant deeply. So we can take this opportunity to reflect today. Is the quality of my chanting, is it worthy of being counted as a follower of Namacharya? Am I chanting well enough to bring joy and pride to Namacharya Haridas Thakur, to my spiritual master, to Srila Prabhupada? If the answer is no, then we have to say, okay, well, what can I do today to improve today and tomorrow and going forward? Improve this chanting. There's always room for improvement. Am I sitting properly? Think sitting properly is insignificant? It's very important. When you sit properly while chanting, if you sit up straight back, you are, with your body language, you're telling Krishna, my Lord, I respect you enough to give you my bodily attention, to face you like a person. If you're having conversation, your body language will tell the other person if you're interested. If you're just like slouching, looking here and there, the other person will feel that you're not interested in talking with him. But if you sit squarely, you look in the eyes, that's body language. It shows respect. It shows attention. It shows love, affection. You think it's not important? If you hear Prabhupada's japa tape 2 times, he stops. He says, sit properly. It means important. It makes a difference. Even little things like that. You sit properly is the first step. And you engage the mind. You remind yourself that, we are doing a serious business here. We are in front of Krishna personally in his name form. So let's give him attention. We engage our emotional feelings. My Lord, please accept me as your servant. We're crying out to the Lord as we're chanting. When we cry out to the Lord, please accept me as your servant. I have wasted so much time, so many lifetimes. I've wasted so much energy doing other petty things, selfish things. Please help me come closer. It's a prayer for help. It's a prayer to be engaged, right? The meaning is, please engage me in your service. My dear Radharani, you are the most merciful. You are the Hare in the Hare Krishna mantra. Please shower your mercy upon me. Please accept me into the service of the Lord. If these prayerful feelings are saturating our emotions and our consciousness, that's a quality round. That's a quality chanting. Are we doing that? If the answer is no, then can we start doing it? Can we find ways to do it? Find a quiet, clean place, sit properly, chant clearly, prayerfully, with the right understanding, intellectually, but also right heart space, emotionally. Then we give everything to the Lord. Because when we chant like Namacharya Haridas Thakur, what is our goal? Our goal is to prove to the Lord that we are interested in him. We need to prove to him, we need to build our case. You see? Of course, we can pray and hope that he will overlook our bad qualities, but we should show that we are seriously interested in becoming his servants. And the best way is to chant with feeling. Yes, chanting process is very good. We can do it mechanically. But if we chant with feeling, like Namacharya Haridas Thakur, who's actually very powerful, he's the first created being, Lord Brahma. We get inspiration from him. It'll please the Lord, it'll please our heart, and it'll make our spiritual process successful. So let us reflect on these questions of Parishit Maharaj here, his curiosity about Lord Brahma. Let's reflect on the pastimes of Lord Brahma. Let's reflect on the morals of the stories, the lessons learned in Lord Brahma's pastimes. Let's not get puffed up because we've empowered in different ways. Let us remain humble, and then let us try to follow in the footsteps of Namacharya Haridas Thakur. And we don't say Lord Brahma ki jai, because for us, Namacharya Haridas Thakur is really important one. So after Aarti, we say Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. This is the greatness of Lord Brahma because he is a Namacharya. So let's keep that in mind and be prayerful and be thankful and grateful to Srila Prabhupada for his mission. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. It's 45 minutes after the hour. So we can stop here or pause here and we can take some interaction or questions or comments. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, His Grace, MADAN-GOPAL Prabhu. I have some few questions, but I believe others may have questions also. So, dear devotees, if anyone has question, comment, realizations, please you may unmute and you'll be asked to speak. Yes. Prabhuji, I have one question. Well, in the first place, thank you so much for blessing us with your presence and your wisdom and your love. You were talking about the importance of doing something for Krishna, regardless. And you're talking about how Putana had come to kill Krishna, but she came as a devotee. And because she came as a devotee, Krishna had some mercy on her. Now, unfortunately, there are some people, this is particularly in West Africa, there are some people who dress themselves as devotees, but they do things that are very, very contrary to ISKCON teachings. Now, do we say that because they've dressed as devotees and they are doing something negative, especially in the name of the movement, will they be receiving some sort of grace or mercy from the Lord and the Parampara? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very good question. Very good question, because this analogy is important for us to understand. Excellent question. So we have to reflect ourselves. What the Lord does for them, that's between the Lord and them. You see, Putana in her previous life, when she had the desire to serve Krishna as a mother, that was a pure, intended desire. You see, her intention was not to exploit. Her intention was not to even kill Krishna, that first desire. So because the root of that is purely motivated, therefore that's what Krishna saw. Now, these are the characters who intentionally, dress up as devotees with no root of pure motivation, even in the past. We know where they're headed because they're trying to damage the work of the Lord. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he tells us these are called Kali Chela. These are agents of Kali Yuga. They wear tilak, they wear dhoti, everything. They wear even tulsi beads, but they go around damaging the reputation of Krishna. He says that. He says, so these people, you should stay away from them as much as possible. Avoid them like the plague. You see? So what happens between them and Krishna, it's between them. That's their private matter. How Krishna sees how much mercy he's going to give, it's not for us to judge or decide. But what is up to us to judge and decide? In the Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami teaches us, it is very important for us to discriminate. Yes. We have to identify. There are three categories of devotees. We have to be sharp and intelligent to identify those three categories. You must be familiar, Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. Why he's telling us, sometimes they told, oh, we should not be judgmental. Don't judge anybody. But we are constantly judging people. If we have 5 devotees in front of us and we have to make a choice, who will I want to spend 3 hours with? That choice will reflect our sense of discrimination. That devotee seems very sincere, pure-hearted. Just look at how all day and night he's just meditating how to give Krishna to others. He's always treating everybody so beautifully with so much love, affection. I'm seeing him for so many years. All he does is take care of others, give Krishna to others. He lives simply. I want to spend time with him. That is a mark of Uttamadhikari. That other devotee, yes, he wears tilak, everything, but he talks roughly to people. He's harsh with them. He himself may not practice properly. His philosophy is all over the place. I'll give him respect because a devotee from a distance. This is told by Rupa Goswami to us. Those devotees, you respect them from a distance. And the ones who are trying very hard, very sincere, you make friends with them. And those are very advanced and giving pure love to others, you serve them. So those 3 categories, he tells us how to interact with them, how to identify them. So that's our job. Our job is not to see whether they'll go back to God or not. That's Krishna's job, you see. So we have to be clear. What is our job? What is Krishna's job? Yeah, I hope that helps, Prabhu.
Very much. Very, very much. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Anyone else with something to ask, please? Well, while the devotees are waiting to ask questions, if any should have any at all, Prabhuji, if you may help me with this. You were describing the beautiful story of how Lord Brahma stole the cowhead boys and the cows and the calves. So when Lord Brahma stole these calves, cows, and cowhead boys, Krishna produced them all back. And they were all back in their homes as if nothing had happened.
Yeah.
So my question is, when the Lord Brahma recognized his mistake and brought these cowherd boys, calves back, what happened to the ones that Lord Krishna produced?
Yes. So it's a very sweet story.
Hare Krishna.
I'll tell you a very sweet pastime about this one. So they got, of course, reabsorbed back into the body of Krishna after Krishna, the original. Okay, so that happened. But what happened, right, is during that 1 year, all the cowherd boys who are now Krishna, actually, their mothers felt even more intense loving feeling toward them, because now it's Krishna, not just another cowherd boy. They're like, wow, it's so sweet, so nice. Even the cows felt extra love for the calves because that's also Krishna, and they're licking them all day and night. It's so beautiful. Now, during that year, Purnamasi Devi, who conducts all these pastimes of the Lord, who facilitates these sweet pastimes in Vrindavan, she told all the leaders of the village, hey, this year is very auspicious. The planets and the stars are just nicely aligned. It's a very good year for marriages, to get married. So let's do this. Let's get all the girls married to all the boys. Just find partners, just whatever makes sense, just get them married. Of course, they don't live with each other. Just arrange the marriage, just do the wedding ceremony. So all the little gopis were tiny girls, and then all little boys, the cute ones, they got little, cute marriage ceremonies done. Because they still lived in their houses. They said later on, what this means, that all the gopis are actually married to Krishna. That's the inner secret that we hear from some of these acharyas. So it's a very sweet story. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that pastime. Thank you. Mother Gail, please, you may unmute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Just to follow up on your previous answer about judging versus discriminating amongst the devotees. So should we understand that, yes, we need to discriminate among devotees in order to understand how we should interact with them. But judging means to try and determine, how should I say, determine what their destination is. Just trying to kind of tease apart these two concepts, judging a devotee versus discriminating amongst devotees.
Right. That's a good point. So what their destination is none of our business. If you find yourself going down that route, oh, that person, he's definitely going to hell. We're in the wrong mind space. That's offensive to begin with. So that's important to keep. We just need to know how we should interact with the different devotees. That's all we need to know. And of the three categories, the lowest, what is recommended? The worst possible category. What is recommended for us to do? To offer respect. Not that, oh, we stop saying bad words to them. No. That is never a possibility. The worst category, we offer respect, but from a distance. You understand? So even the worst, we offer respect. The respect is the bottom line of behavior for us. Why we offer respect? Because somehow they have accepted Krishna. They're putting on the symbols and they've accepted Krishna. Therefore, we respect them from a distance. Now, if I find that so many devotees are offering me respect from a distance, then I need to improve myself. Oh, so many, they're offering me respect, but only from a distance. There's something wrong with me. You see, it's always a matter of, we need to be thinking about how can I improve myself and how can I interact correctly with other devotees. And if we're doing anything less than respect, we are making offenses. See? We have to learn these things from the books. We have to read them very scrutinizingly. Nectar of Instruction. It's only 11 verses. It's packed with powerful practical application. Not just what to do, but the perspective on how to look at things. You see, it's none of our business where they're going. It's none of our business what is between them and Krishna. We need to improve ourselves and we need to make sure we're at least doing the baseline of respect with everybody. Then we're fine.
Yeah, I'm glad you said everybody, because that was going to be my next statement, that, this offering people from a distance, offering respect from a distance, it seems to me that that shouldn't be relegated to only those who have accepted Krishna or those who are considered devotees. That should even
respectful to everybody.
Yeah, everybody, not just devotees. Huh?
Yeah, the 6 Goswamis are described. Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo. They were kind to even the ruffians, even the hooligans. They were loved by them because they were nice to everybody, even the villains in society. So that's a given. Devotees are supposed to follow in the footsteps of these acharyas. So we should not have a personality that is, very easily hated. We can improve ourselves on that, for sure.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mother Gail, for the question, and thank you so much for the answer, Madan-Gopal Prabhu. I would like to introduce our speaker to the assembled devotees here in a very brief way. That is, you may see our revered speaker, his name is Madan-Gopal Prabhu. Like he said in the very beginning of his presentation that he's born of Indian parents, but he was born in Africa, specifically in Nairobi, Kenya. And then from Kenya, he joined ISKCON in 91 and received Diksha initiation in 99 from His Holiness Saswarup Das Goswami Maharaj. Presently, Prabhuji resides in New Jersey, United States, in a very beautiful city called Parsippany. Excuse me. Prabhuji also serves as ISKCON Communications Co-Director for North America. He is also a GBC Zonal Supervisor for several temples in the northeastern zone of America. Again, he is part of ISKCON Parsippany leadership team that is constructing one of the largest ISKCON temples in the US, which is slated to open this year, 2024. And we're going to show you briefly about that project. But if we look at Prabhuji's backdrop, you will see the beautiful building behind him is the temple under construction, which should be completed sometime 2024. And we humbly request and pray to all the assembled Vaishnava devotees and whoever may be watching this later on or now to bless Prabhuji and his team to accomplish this wonderful service to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. It's a very wonderful, selfless service. It's not easy. Like I said, we will show a brief video of the construction work. And so thank you so much, Prabhuji, for being here. And the last but not the least, Prabhuji also accepted the, not in a very negative way, but an unthankful service of being a Diksha guru in ISKCON. So Prabhuji, we congratulate you and we applaud you for accepting this service. So whoever may be following him attentively, he is an initiating guru in our precious ISKCON organization. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your kind blessings. Hare Krishna.
Oh, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Harichakra Prabhu, please, you may unmute before we play the brief video. Please.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah. Dandava Pranam.
Pranam.
All glories to you, all glories to Gurudev, and all glories to the assembly.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for your elaborate deliberation. My question is a follow-up of the first question that Sade Prabhu asked. You see, many a time, like somebody is using ISKCON's name to do something else. Actually, the answer you gave, I perfectly accept the answer and it falls in place. But here is a case, like someone is using ISKCON's name that, let's say ISKCON New Jersey, and doing something that is very contrary to what ISKCON is preaching. Now, if I have to respect the person from a distance and I don't have to say anything now, here is a case. Sometimes, taking for instance myself, I have a lot of classmates that I try to preach to, and some are doctors, some are engineers, some are lawyers, and because of ISKCON, they sometimes are called me some sort of respect. Now, when they see these things, when they see someone in the garb of a Hare Krishna person saying things or doing things that they see what is being weird, most of them, they will text me, they will send me a message on maybe WhatsApp or call me and say, hey, guy, everything you've been telling us is lie. Look at your man. It's on Facebook, telling us this. Then it becomes like a problem. It's either I condemn the person to them or I'll have to find a way to defend the person. So can you give us a little bit more explanation? Because what the answer you gave is very satisfactory to me, but when it comes to situations like this, what do we do?
Yes, a very good question. Very good question. So as children and grandchildren of Srila Prabhupada, yes, we understand we're supposed to respect devotees and so on. We also supposed to protect the legacy of Srila Prabhupada as much as we can. You know, we've had a terrible history of how our children were treated in this movement over the last 50 years. Terrible, terrible. We're not hiding from that reality. It's been awful. And some of that is still happening, which is, again, terrible. Thankfully, devotees are stepping forward, pointing it out. Hey, this is not right. This is not correct. And our hope is that we do our part in making sure that we defend the legacy of Srila Prabhupada in the form of ISKCON movement, that we can correct these wrongs. Our hope is that we learn lessons from it. Unfortunately, because of the negative nature of our conditioning, these kind of characters will always keep popping up. So we have to be vigilant and try our best to work with the authorities, to work even local legal enforcement authorities if needed, to work with those who are in charge of ISKCON, to see if that can be corrected and resolved and highlighted properly to the proper channels, to proper due process. You know, because when it comes to making an accusation of impropriety to somebody, that guy is stealing money from the temple or something like that, he's doing something bad, and he's in charge of the whole treasury. It may be true. That needs to be corrected. But it may not be true. Maybe it's a gossip, you see. So we have to approach it with a proper due process, but we have to do something about it. Either find out whether it's gossip or we realize it's actually truth, then we have to work with the proper authorities to resolve it. These situations can get very complicated. I've just seen from my brief experience only a little bit in this movement, but I've seen they can get very complex. But it is our job to keep our hearts pure and our fight steady. Hey, I'm going to blow the whistle because I know this not look right. So our job is to keep the whistle and blow it as much as we can. Hopefully someone will listen. And the better we can articulate those positions from a position of purity and the right intention to improve the image of a movement, to improve the movement overall, to make sure reputation of Prabhupada doesn't go down, we have to keep that fight up. So that is our job also. Doesn't mean that we don't respect those devotees for having taken up Krishna consciousness. That remains as the baseline. Yes, I respect you, but you allow darkness to enter your heart and to exploit the movement, exploit people. That we cannot tolerate. So we have to work on resolving those. Hare Chakra Prabhu, I hope it helps. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the answer. So devotees, hold on tight for 3 more minutes where we share this brief video of what's going on in Parsippany, New Jersey.
Parsippany.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all devotees for being here and witnessing this amazing structure coming up. But if you all would remember, the last end of this tip is requesting for donations. So whichever way, it could be money, it could be ideas, it could be love, it could be prayers, whichever little way we can all contribute to the completion of this project, please, we should all do that. As devotees, our prayers and blessings go a long way. So this is our humble request. And Sri MADAN-GOPAL Prabhu, if you may want to shed a little bit more light as to this project, how it began and where you are at, that will also be very appreciated.
Yes, sure. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. And thank you, first of all, for your kind, warm welcome into this circle of progressive devotees. It's always a joy to be with all of you. Many of my friends are here who I know, so it's very nice. Yeah, so this project actually started long back in 2008 when we purchased this property in Parsippany. Parsippany is one of the nicest towns to live in New Jersey. And back then we had a hard time raising funds. Even now, we've spent already about $7.5 million. But when we started the project, we only had maybe $60,000 in the account. So we just said, oh, we'll just start and then we'll leave it up to Krishna. So when we started, when people see that things are happening and moving along, then they step forward. So sometimes we need to do it that way. So by the mercy of the Lord, we've come this far. We're still about another $1 million short of finishing the project, but donations are coming in, thankfully. And whatever prayers, please pray for this project. This is one of Srila Prabhupada's temples that we want to really, really help in the community. It's something that's going to be an embassy of the spiritual world. You can see how beautiful it's done. There's a restaurant there. There's lots of classrooms in there. And so it's an educational institution. There's a big auditorium for cultural presentations, a nice, big, spacious temple hall that you saw, large windows. And it's also very accessible even by bus and public transport. The bus stop is like basically not even 100 meters away from the temple. It's very close, and the bus goes straight to New York City. So it's very accessible even if you don't have a car. So in many, many ways, we'll be able to serve the community a lot more than our Tawalco temple here. So it's a long time in the making. With small contributions, we've come up this way. And please send us your prayers and your good wishes that we can spread Prabhupada's movement in this little corner of the world. And I appreciate all of your energies and positive vibes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Anyone else with something to say before we wrap this up today? Well, dear devotees, we're going to humbly request you all to kindly unmute, and we all chant at the loudest Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, His Grace MADAN-GOPAL Prabhu. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Mancha
His Grace MADAN-GOPAL Prabhu ki
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful service. I must tell, on behalf of myself and the devotees here, we want to just pray sincerely from the heart that Srila Prabhupada and the Vaishnava Acharyas will continue to empower you. This is not an ordinary thing. It's like, I don't know which of the temples in the West I will compare this temple to. This is a marvelous work done. And I pray that Srila Prabhupada will smile on you. And of course, I can see the project is completed because I can see that the acharyas are with you. Thank you so much. This is inspiring. And for the fact that you designed the temple and then you put in the facilities for education means a whole lot. It's actually one of those things that our modern ISKCON should be considering, because that is actually what Prabhupada wanted. Thank you so much for this project. And may Guru and Krishna continue to be with you. Thank you.
Jai.
Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.